CM Punk is a master on the mic. And then the main event, the title change. Let's talk about all that on Screw the Script. So this Raw was okay. It started off pretty hot. We had Punk coming out, dropping just another masterclass of a promo on the mic, calling both The Rock and Cena bald, whatever it was, effers. I can't remember exactly what he called them, but it was funny. But man, Punk just has so much raw emotion on the mic. It's incredible. So that was a great start to Raw. You had some good matches happening tonight, but we're just gonna go over the things that I liked the most, and then talk about quite the controversial, at least to me, quite the controversial end to this week's episode of Raw. So we saw the promo by Punk, and then out comes Rollins, and both Rollins and Punk for the next what felt like half the episode they were just beating the shit out of each other, left and right, up the stage, around the ring. Later on in the episode, they saw each other backstage, and then again proceeded to chase after one another, and again just start beating the crap out of each other. Really good segment. Obviously, this looks like this is heading towards a Mania match between the two of them. That should be a really good match between the two of them at Mania. So we'll also talk about now next some of the matches that happened tonight. You saw the tag title match between the War Raiders and then the Creed brothers. Good match. I do think the Creed brothers eventually will win those tag titles. Maybe as early as sometime in 2025. Might have to wait until early 2026 to really give them a true build and a good run. But nonetheless, solid match. No complaints there. We also saw some other promos through the night and backstage stuff through the night. But I really want to talk about, just to get it out of the way, to me, quite the controversial end to this episode of Raw, at least in my mind. Now, during Elimination Chamber, I had accurately predicted that Bianca Belair was going to win that match, which she did. And I was extremely excited because we were finally going to get a huge treat that a lot of pro wrestling fans were waiting for, which was Bianca and Rhea Ripley for a title at Mania until last night. So let's talk about that controversial ending that I didn't really care for. The main event title match between Rhea Ripley and Io. The only reason why I didn't like this is because I did predict Bianca Belair to win the Elimination Chamber, and I was very excited. Many other people like myself are very excited to see Bianca and Rhea for the women's title at Mania. Now, it doesn't look like we're going to get that. At best, we might get a triple threat, but that's not, to me, in my mind, it's not as good as what it could have been. And so we see Rhea lose the title at the end of this episode of Raw. Very shocking, yes, but not the outcome that myself and I've seen many others across social media did not like this ending. Props and, congrats to you. Congrats on becoming champ, but I just don't think that this was the right time to integrate her into a feud. Maybe during, leading up to a smaller PLE, but this is WrestleMania. This is where you need to have the best of the best. And I don't personally think that she is at the top there with the best of the best. I don't think she's on the level of Bianca, on the level of Rhea, and then a few others in the company. And so, I don't know, it just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. We're probably going to get a triple threat anyways, because I don't think that it would be wise or it doesn't make any sense to me to have WWE leave out arguably their biggest female star in the company, Rhea, out of the Mania spotlight or the Mania lineup. So this is more than likely going to become a triple threat, which, again, not as exciting for me. I really just wanted the one-on-one match, but I digress. So another note that I want to make, I don't understand why you have arguably the biggest heel turn in company history, at least for the last 2 decades, and you don't have John Cena at all on the episode. They sure spent a lot of time highlighting it. I think they showed it a good 6 or 7 times throughout the night. Different clips, but still, like, for one, wasted time on the show. They could have probably squeezed in either an in-ring promo or a quick match for the amount of time that they kept showing it. Yes, I get that it was a huge moment in WWE history, but there's just too many promos and like video packages and all this stuff and ads during regular episodes of Raw and SmackDown. Raw's been getting better, but tonight was another classic case of that where it was a pretty short episode, but it felt longer because they kept showing repetitive stuff where they could have squeezed in a different in-ring promo at the very least, or another match to spotlight a couple more of their talent. Instead, we got the Cena stuff spoon-fed to us about 6 or 7 times throughout the night, and we never even got John Cena live, which I think that's a huge whiff. You have such a big heel turn, and then you make the fans wait a couple of weeks before you even see him. Maybe, okay, sure, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. That's part of maybe the heel turn, but you still could have had both. You could have had him show up and drop a massive promo on the WWE fans and stuff to really just keep that heat going, because now it's going to kind of marinate in everybody's minds between now and when he does show up, and I just don't think that's how you capitalize. Maybe I'm wrong. You can disagree with me, but that's just personally how I feel about that. So next we'll talk about what else has happened tonight on Raw. Next, I really want to talk about Gunther, however you want to pronounce it. I just don't think that his heavyweight run right now as world heavyweight champ, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's missing. It just doesn't feel as, top tier and of the caliber of his really long Intercontinental title run. And then before that, the NXT UK champ. I don't know what it is. I want to say it's probably having him feud with Jey Uso for the title, what we're going to see at Mania. And again, Jey Uso, solid in the ring. The Yeet chant, crazy over. I just don't think he has that top echelon, that top tier talent to what we'll probably see as a co-main event for Mania. And maybe that's why in my gut this doesn't feel as great of a run so far as his IC title run. Now, I will say the IC title run was so good that it's probably hard to replicate that for him specifically. We did see a good match tonight between him and Otis. Much better match than I thought it would be. I honestly thought it would be kind of a 5-minute squash. It was not. Very competitive match. So I'll give props where props is due to both of those athletes. But again, I don't see this Gunther title run as good. Maybe it's because it's been kind of short-lived. So I do think that he's going to retain at Mania, just because I don't think it was already kind of a long shot to have Jey Uso, of all people, challenge him at Mania after, or what was it? He won the Royal Rumble, I believe, correct? Yeah, I believe so. Anyways, so I think they will move on from that kind of quick. They can still keep Jey Uso as this huge, fun mouthpiece with this crazy over chant and not necessarily have him be champion quite yet. I think if they really want to capture Gunther in his presence in the company, just let him keep running through guys like he did as IC champ. Let him beat Jey at Mania and keep that title on Raw and just keep plowing through guys. So that's my little bit on that. Another thing that I want to make note real quick is, again, Penta. Now, again, I'm a huge Penta fan. I love luchadors in general. It looks like there's some news that his brother Ray Phoenix was officially removed from the AEW roster page, so we will probably be seeing him debut, most likely alongside his brother in the WWE. But Ray Phoenix especially, I don't want to see them get watered down. And if you have been following Penta's career for as long as I have, the years prior to him even being in AEW for the 5, almost 6 years that he was in AEW for, you know that he is capable of so much more. And I get people saying, okay, well, they're just, they're warming him up to people. Okay, he's been on Raw for over a month now. He has had a handful of matches, and I'm going to be completely honest. Every single match that he's had is almost near identical. Cut and paste. He lands his 3 big moves, which really are nothing. It like scratches the surface of his talent. And it's not that they're building him to be a star. I'm glad that they are. That's the right move because he is a star. What I don't like is that they aren't packaging him as well as he should be. He is capable of so much more than just his finisher and the top over the top rope dive that he does. That's the most basic thing that he has done in years prior. And the fans are eating it up because a lot of them don't know what he was before WWE. They don't know what he is capable in the ring. Just let him fully go unleashed. I'm hoping that they do, and then it just stays that way at Mania. I'm assuming he's probably going to have a match at Mania with either, we'll probably see him have a match with Pete Dunne, or we'll probably get a triple threat match between Penta, Kaiser, and Pete Dunne, or something along the lines of that at Mania, and maybe that's where they finally fully unleash Penta, and he should just skyrocket from there. Again, that's my only gripe with him in WWE so far. I'm glad that they are making him a star, but he could be bigger and better than how they have presented him because knowing what he is capable of all the years that I've watched him, which has been near a decade now. So that is a piece that is still kind of just bothering me on Weekly Raw. He didn't have a match tonight. He just kind of had a run to the ring, kind of beat down interruption. So yeah, just, fully unleash Penta. So that's about it, what I have for this Raw review. Again, this was Screw the Script. I'm Maverick. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below, and tell me what you think about tonight's Raw, what you thought about the Punk promo and the Rollins stuff. I believe it was just 4 matches that we had tonight. All of them were decent matches. The the women's IC, I didn't really touch on. It was an okay match. That's all I really need to say. Not something I'll remember a month from now. So let me know what you think down below. I would say this was just an average Raw. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10 if I were to rate it. Started off hot, but kind of just went downhill for me. And then that controversial ending. I don't want to see a women's triple threat title match at Mania, but that's probably what we're going to get. Should have just stayed as Bianca versus Rhea, but I unfortunately don't book the company. I am just a guy sitting in a chair reviewing and telling you my thoughts. So again, this was Screw the Script. Thanks for listening.